So look, I think it's important that we come up with some better definitions around what it means to be healthful. Now, here's what the traditional thinking is. A lot of guys just think that if they're shredded, if they can see their abs, if they've got big muscles, that automatically puts them into the healthy category. Now, look, I don't disagree that if you're leaner, if you're not carrying a bunch of excess body fat, that's a good thing, but there is such a thing as being too lean as well. Right? If you're too lean, that's not healthy either. So there is an optimal amount of body fat that we need to get to, especially if you're a guy over 40. If you're trying to live at 7% body fat, there's a good chance that that's probably going to hurt you more than it's going to help you. And I'm talking about your overall health and well-being, which in my mind, if you're a guy over 40, that should be the most important thing. The most important thing that you should be chasing right now is your health. So what does it actually mean to be healthy if it's not just being lean and being shredded? Right? Well, let's look at this from a little different lens. Now, there's a few different things that I think are really, really important that would make up someone who's very, very healthy. And I think there's three things that we specifically need to focus on. Number one is we need to be at an optimal body fat, right? We sort of talked about that already. We need to be optimal. We don't want to be too lean. We don't want to be too heavy. We got to be like right at the ideal. What is the ideal? Good question. Everybody's going to be a little bit different, but I'm going to give you a range. A range is going to be somewhere between, I'm going to say 8 and 15%. Okay, that would be optimal for most guys, okay? The second thing that we need to look at when it comes to health is we need to look at your physical performance. So just because someone is very lean, someone is very shredded, even if someone has big muscles, it does not mean that they are very physically capable. They look a certain part, but I can't tell you how many people I've met over the years who are all smoke and mirrors. If we give people enough testosterone, if we give people enough steroids, if we starve them enough, and we change their diet and manipulate things, we can make them look a certain way, but it doesn't mean that physically they're that capable. There's a lot of chinks in the armor when it comes to physical capabilities. So two things we got optimal body fat, and then you have to be able to perform physically at a high level. The last thing that we need to do if you want to be healthy is we need to look at your numbers from the doctor. So when you've got ideal numbers from the doctor, and I don't just mean normal numbers, I don't just mean 120/70 for a body fat, for a blood pressure, I'm talking about 110/62. When we're talking about cholesterol, I don't mean 220, I mean 180. Like we can optimize those numbers. And when someone goes to the doctor and they have optimal numbers, meaning not normal, but better than normal, and they have great physical capacities, and they've got an ideal body fat, that is a really healthy person. That's what's going to allow you to live a very good life, a very healthy life for a very long time while you're here on this planet. And look, we only get one shot at this. And if we're just chasing aesthetics and we do anything that we can just to get a shredded physique, well, that might hurt us more than it's going to help us, especially when we look at this from the long game, which is exactly how we should be approaching our health. Our health is a long game play. It's not a short game play. You have to build the right habits into your life. You have to really focus on the right things in order to be the best version of yourself.